Alrighty, welcome back, fellas. Another episode here of Sky U Pod. It is a solo show today. I'm by myself, so any comments of you viewers is appreciated for this one. Recapping the Gophers' exciting game, 31 to 28 over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Um, yeah, that game was just a roller coaster of emotions altogether. I think the best way to get into this is kind of going through the flow of the game, right? You had all the storylines coming in, Athan coming back home, Greg Schiano being a older brother mentor to PJ, Kirk Soraka leaving us again for Rutgers, Rob Smith back as the Rutgers defensive coordinator, our old defensive coordinator. So just a lot of good storylines going into this one. And we talked about Rutgers would come in and probably and be starting hot, and that the Gophers offense would have to keep up. Well, that's not exactly what we did. As we saw, the Rutgers went right down the field that first possession, had the blocked field goal, thankfully, but offense goes 3 and out, gives them the ball right back, and Rutgers continued to go right down the field, scored 2 touchdowns, go 14-0, and it was, oh boy, what are we getting ourselves into? So let's talk about those first 2 possessions for the defense, at least. I really didn't think the defense played that poorly, like pass coverage wise in those 2. Athan was on fire, and we talked about his trio of receivers. They were all making plays. Sheffield, Ian Strong had a couple catches there too. He was the main one, and they did a pretty good job on Ian Strong, I thought, throughout the game. But Sheffield's making plays early, and I didn't think the coverage was really that bad. It's just, I don't know if we weren't blitzing right away, but they just knew exactly what we were going to do, come out in zone coverage, and just picked it apart. And credit to Rutgers. I did think Danny Collins adjusted as the game went on. What I thought was really disappointing here, as we're starting with these first 2 series, really, for the Gophers defense and offense, when Rutgers goes right down the field, you block the field goal, it kind of sucked to just go 3 and out and give them the ball right back again, right? It was tough to see. Tough to put them right back on the field after kind of bailing themselves out, the special teams making a big play. You'd like to at least eat some time there before you throw them back out there right away, if you're the offense. But slow starting again. That's kind of been a theme for Greg Harbaugh's offense so far this year, which hopefully gets it going. But once we went down 14-0, and the offense got the ball, that shot down the field to Jalen Smith really just ignited the whole team, sparked a huge comeback, obviously, gave everyone a big jolt, almost housed it. That would have been great. And 78 yards is actually the longest Gopher completed pass in Huntington Bank history now, which I'm not sure what that says about us, that it took us that long. I'm surprised. I want to know what Bateman's was against Indiana. That was probably like 60 yards. He had a long one against Indiana his freshman year. But anyway, hitting Jalen Smith down to the 2, Femi Ejeboy converting that, capping that off with a touchdown. That was great to see. Then Kerry Brown, next possession, Oh, I have to go back, right? So Athan completes the second touchdown pass, goes up to the fans, who I guess were booing him pregame. And to be fair to Athan, he was booed off the field his last ever game in a Gopher uniform against the Badgers. And so after he was feeling himself after that second touchdown pass, went up and put the hand to the ear, silencing the fans there. It didn't go too well for him from there. So Gophers answered, like I said, after that long play to Jalen Smith. And then and then Kerry Brown, right? We changed up coverage. They're thinking it's man. Kerry slides off his zone and comes down on the out and makes a great play. And then broke like 10 tackles, it seemed like, as he carried it back inside the 10-yard line, just about, it seemed like. Just a great play by Kerry Brown, who had a terrific game. The defense really stepped it up there after those first 3 possessions for Rutgers, which was great to see. That throw from Drake Lindsey to Lemeki Brockington. There's a picture going around Twitter. I'm sure most of you have seen it now. But when he releases that football and what is actually seen, like in the back of the end zone where he's thrown it, it's all Rutgers guys and Lemeki running with a Rutgers guy. That throw was incredible. And he's made a ton of incredible throws already this season, but that one might be the best. That was just in the perfect spot. Lemeki went up and made a great catch, and that made it 14-all. And from then on, it was really just brand new ball game. So we evened it up, had the momentum going there. There's a couple of things here. The offense's running ability wasn't great most of the game. Now, the stats were really bad. 17 carries for, what was it, 37 yards? 38 yards? And I don't know if that's, like, worse or better than it actually felt, because, like, what to me felt like 5 of those carries were us running out of shotgun into short yardage situations and getting nothing. It didn't feel like coming into this game we were running a ton out of shotgun to begin with. So going bunch formation and using Lemeki basically as like a third tight end out there and running out of shotgun in the short yardage situation, I thought was really an awful choice. I wasn't a huge fan of Craig Harbaugh, especially in the first half, as my tweets indicated. And, credit to them. They did change it up enough to get things going later. But, man, that was frustrating early. So I wasn't really sure. Yes, the rushing attack was bad, but I also didn't feel like, again, that we did a lot to help it out. I'd like to see us, if we're going to run out of shotgun in those short yardage situations, spread it out, or RPO it. I know the RPO has been completely taken out of our offense, but with how good Drake Lindsey is, I wouldn't mind giving him just another option to keep throwing the ball there. Like if you're in a short yardage situation, have a run play with a pass option off of it if it's there. I think Drake has totally shown his capability of doing that. He's looks like a master of the offense. He's our best player on offense, most important player on the team, arguably right now, between him and Anthony Smith. So I just feel like when the run game has been struggling, and really the run game hasn't been going very well in the 3 years Harbaugh's been the offensive coordinator, there's just some things formationally, maybe some mixed direction that you can just do to help it out. But that being said, like we saw in this game, I think going forward, it is going to be a pass to set up the run type offense. And with the way Drake Lindsey's able to push the ball down the field, I think that's maybe not as bad of a thing as we thought it might have been at the start of the year. Let's switch to the defense here into the first half. The run defense was rough this game. I know we kind of switched to man a little bit less zone happening later on, but too many long runs broken off. And Raymond is a great back. I mean, he's pretty good. 26 carries, 161 yards for him. Just torched us on a few third and longs. It felt a little backbreaking to let them get back into the lead at the end of the first half. But special teams answered with a play, right? We had a chance to get points there at the end of the first half. Coy redeemed any mistake he had, made a great return, setting up a field goal attempt, which I know we did miss. I think it was the right idea. I mean, if you want to be conservative, just kick it. 8 seconds is a lot of time. I feel like a lot of teams at least try and run some quick outs, and if it's not there, you just throw it away. What I didn't understand is that was your first play, and you had, you were rushing the field goal unit out there. It felt like I think the kicker was the last one out on the field. It just looked like a rush operation when it didn't have to be as rushed. It was first down. You had 8 seconds. Like Ryan Burns, I believe, tweeted out at the time, even if you wanted to kick it right away and not risk, messing up and getting the field goal off, I'm not sure why, if your field goal team wasn't ready, you couldn't just go out there, take one snap, and spike the ball. You lose 0 yards, just 2 seconds maybe come off the clock, and then you get everyone out there and reset and kick the field goal. We did miss it, so it was 21-14 at the half. But, I mean, it was all Drake Lindsey in that third quarter, just finishing with the stat line of 31 for 41, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns. Um, that that play where he just signaled out to Jalen Smith in the red zone and just threw it out there quick. What a check. I mean, I know it sounds easy, but that definitely wasn't the design play, as you could tell, because Jalen Smith looked a little unsure of what to actually do um, based off the snap of the ball, but clearly he saw enough to where Drake wanted to get the football, and he caught it, made a play to the outside, and beat everyone to the pylon. So Gophers took the lead from there, outscoring Rutgers 10-0 in that third quarter to regain the lead. Again, Rutgers, to get back in it, really just leaned on the run game. We kept getting them when we had that, yeah, what was it at that time? It's 20 when we had that 24-21 lead. Um, Again, the defense, it was feast or famine, right? We finished with 7 sacks, but then there was times where we couldn't get any pressure on Athan, it felt like, and he had all day to throw. Um, and they were completing some passes, and I felt like our guys were right there. So the secondary battled hard. I really do think they had a tough assignment, and overall, I mean, did pretty well. Not perfect, but like Rutgers makes plays, man, and they got playmakers out there. And I was more just disappointed in the tackling. Seemed to be a lot of missed tackles on those third and longs, especially letting the running back just get the corner a lot of the time. So that's what I mean. Like, it sounds obvious, but we were really living and dying by what the D line got done, it felt like, out there. And they had a lot of tackles for loss. They got 7 sacks, like I said, so overall pretty good. But I'm hoping the run defense can, or just be a little bit more, I don't know, like a balanced defense that's stopping both. Because there's at least the third and long runs; those were absolutely killer. To give up that 3rd and 16 with it, like I think he got like 25. He smoked us on that one. It then set up the touchdown a couple plays later. Um, just terrible. And then so the Gophers are down 28-24. Drake Lindsey gets the ball. I thought it was, if I'm going to criticize Drake, I thought it was his only mistake of the game was the first possession after we had just, after Rutgers had just taken the lead back. That first play, he held it just probably like a second and a half too long. Probably should have his internal clock going enough that to throw it away. I didn't think it was that poorly protected of a play. It just wasn't there, and eventually the pass rush got through. But it is what it is. Picked up some nice chunks the next 2 plays, but we're ended up short and had to punt it away. And credit the defense, who was kind of up and down, making some great plays, struggling at times, got the offense the ball back when they needed to. And then it was the Drake Lindsey show. I mean, going with some tempo. I'm curious to see if the hurry up stays going forward, because it's pretty clear that the O-line is much more comfortable in pass protection than run blocking at this point. And the left side of the line, again, was great, I thought. Nathan Roy went out for a play, was able to come right back. He was outstanding. Greg Johnson looks good. I feel good about the left side of the line. But Drake Lindsey going tempo, moving us down the field before hitting Javon Tracy, going up, making a snag, and then having the athletic ability to fight off the defender, reach it over the goal line. At least that's what they ruled. It was close. I couldn't really tell based on the review. I think it was just one of those things where it was tough to overturn based on the call on the field. But anyway, Gophers take the lead, and yeah. And then Rutgers gets it going a little bit. You know, it's not like huge chunk plays, but they are moving the ball back down the field. They get in the field goal range. They get to set up, or before that, we're getting some pressure on them. And then I believe it was on that second down play. Athan he didn't call for the snap. Everyone else looked ready except Athan and the running back. He did not clap his hands, which had been his signal pretty much all game. Wasn't ready for it. Snapped between his legs, which resulted in a huge loss. Gophers took advantage of it. Rutgers tries to sneak in one more run play. I think it was Kerry Brown. I forget who comes up and makes the stop right away, but only got a couple there on that third and long run, and sets up the long field goal attempt for Rutgers. No good. Gophers got the dub, and we're all feeling good. It does show a lot of character about the team, and they bounced back after a pretty dreadful start, and it was a back and forth game the whole way. I don't know if I talked enough about how good Drake Lindsey was. You don't, in my opinion, he's already easily the best quarterback of my 30 years here as a Gopher football fan. He's that good. He can make every throw. He's got touch. He can bullet it in there. Going through the receiver stats here. Jalen Smith, 4 catches, 103 yards, touchdown. Javon Tracy, 6 catches, 54 yards, touchdown. Lemecki, 5 catches, 41 yards, touchdown. Drew Bibber, 4 catches, 41 yards. Logan Loyola, 4 catches, 27 yards. Jamison Gears, 3 catches, 24 yards. Those names right there, that's your receiving crew. And then obviously Darius Taylor whenever we get him back. I should mention that too. Rushing and attack probably looks a lot better with Darius Taylor, but man, pulled hammy, tough to come back from it, so hopefully we get him back soon. But Drake Lindsey's been carrying the workload, and honestly, I think the offense is better with him throwing even when Darius was here and we were able to run the ball a little bit better. I think that should be I think it's shown enough to be a pass-first offense going forward. No Coy Parrish on offense. That being said, he had a great game. He had one of the sacks. He crushed Athan on his sack. Just a bullet from 10 yards out when he saw Athan start to break the pocket. He hammered him. It's tough to get a lot of good shots in on quarterbacks these days, I feel like, just with targeting and especially mobile quarterbacks that are able to kind of avoid most of the contact. Not that one. Coy just smothered him. And he had a great game. Honestly, all the safeties had a great game. It was tough to see Gooseby go down, because I feel like not a lot, but a few of the catches happened with Gooseby right there, and I felt like he was in great position. But yeah, that was just Sheffield and Duff making some plays. And I do want to point out Ian Strong's stat line: 5 catches, 46 yards, with one long of 13. And I know there are other guys, Sheffield and Duff did pretty well, but that's no small task in Ian Strong getting held to 5 catches, 46 yards. Maybe that might do it slightly a Rutgers issue, not targeting him more, but you got to give credit to the secondary and taking away their number one option for the majority of the game. So Coy had a great game. No offense for Coy. And honestly, I just went over the receiver stats. I think those are your best pass catchers. At this point in the year, your best pass catchers are Javon Tracy, Lemecki, and Jalen Smith. When he does catch the ball, he is one of your best receivers. He clearly is the best at getting separation at this point. I think Javon Tracy should continue to be getting involved more, and they're clearly doing that. And Logan Loya's got a role too. It's just we don't play a lot of 3 receiver sets at the moment. Something I think they should maybe consider to going a little bit more, honestly. But I get it. They like Bibber and they like Gears, obviously. I think Jamison Gears is great. But yeah, I mean, just a really exciting game overall. Let's shout out some defensive guys. Anthony Smith continues to wreak havoc. 2 sacks this game. Devin Eastern was good in the middle again. He had half a sack. Kerry Brown was outstanding. We already talked about him. I want to say Matt Baranowski also had a great game. His sack that he had, when he came in up the gut and just bulldozed the running back over and then finished through to sack Athan. Man, I mean, we had plays. Almost everybody on this defense had a play where it looked like they were unstoppable, and then we would give up another chunk play. So, and I mean, that's just the kind of battle it was out there. It's not always going to be perfect, especially in the Big Ten. I think a lot of these teams, like us and Rutgers, obviously you have the Ohio States and the Oregons that are, Michigan, that are probably like the next tier up from everybody. Indiana probably this year, but I think everybody else could pretty much beat anybody any given Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of moments like that, I think. Hopefully a little less big plays given up by us going forward. But it is Ohio State next week, so we'll see how we do there. But yeah, I mean, everyone had to play. Mike Gerald got to play this game. He had a couple pass breakups out there. Emmanuel Carmo almost had an insane interception. I believe they tried a wheel route to Raymond, the running back, who had a great game against us. Um, Emmanuel's a true freshman out there, and he's so fast. He's got to continue to play, whether that be blitzing off the edge or remaining an off-ball linebacker and covering these speedy backs. He's definitely got a role to continue playing. Um, Jackson Howard, I thought, was very noticeable off the edge as well. I know he didn't have like a ton of stats, still 3 tackles for him. But yeah, I mean, Anthony Smith, he now has 4.5 sacks through 4 games. He's got to do it. He's got to be the Gopher to finally hit double digits. I think since, I think it was the 2000s that we've had the last time we've had a double-digit sack guy. I just don't think you can talk about Anthony Smith or this game in particular, Kerry Brown, enough. And Coy had a great game too. 11 tackles for Coy, including the sack and tackle for loss. So huge bounce back performance for him. It looks like that's probably going to be a trend going forward. A limited role on offense, if in maybe not at all. And I don't know if it's needed, guys. Like I said, I like this receiver room. I think they do have, there's no true speedster like Rashad Bateman was, but overall, I do think this is one of the more talented receiving rooms PJ and Harbaugh have had. So I don't like the excuses of the lack of separation. I think you just got to be willing to call those plays more often and let Drake throw into one-on-one coverage, which they definitely did. And now I feel like this was targeted at fans like me. I feel a couple writers say, got to give Harbaugh credit. When the Gophers were down 14-0, they changed the play and said, screw it. If I'm going to go down, I'm going to start throwing. I mean, yeah, but what offensive coordinator doesn't start trying to get aggressive when you're down 14 looking like you're about to get boat raced? I mean, is that something we really have to be giving credit for? I don't know. Maybe I'm too harsh there or being too negative. I just didn't think that was like a genius maneuver. It was clearly what was needing to be done. You weren't running the ball. You weren't fooling them on anything. And not that we tried any trickery, but they were just crashing down on us, and we didn't really have an answer those first couple possessions. So yeah, I would turn it over to Drake Lindsey too. I think it should be happening sooner, and it is a problem for the offense, these slow starts. Outside of against all FBS teams, this offense has been very slow to get going this game, and I don't know. I mean, we saw Rutgers do it. We've seen Cal do it. Like opening, Cal did punt their first one, but we've seen teams have opening drives that at least look good at or moving them down the field and kind of get them into a rhythm. The O-line and the play calling just take a little bit of time to get going right now. So that's got to pick up, especially next week against Ohio State. That's quite the test, obviously. They pretty much dominated Washington. I know it was close early, but that defense is suffocating. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Kind of looking ahead now. I don't want us to go into Ohio State and just play conservative. I think they got their best chance. Yes, it might open you up to a bigger butt white whooping at the end, but I want to take shots against Ohio State. And I know that the talent difference might be just too great, but I think running some tempo and keep stretching vertically is what our offense is best at. So I'd rather just run what we're best at able to do instead of just trying to play keep away ball and keep the score from getting out of hand. I think I want to see us actually try. And if you don't think all teams do that, I mean, you just got to go back to the last time we were at Ohio State. I believe it was during Athan's last year here as our quarterback. We punted twice from Ohio State's side of the field on 4th down when you weren't going to get there very often. And I think that's going to be probably the case again this year. Just be aggressive. Go out there, try and win the game. No one's expected to anyway, so who cares if you ended up getting crushed? Most teams would. the SEC will get crushed by them later in the year anyway. So that's a little preview of, I guess, my thoughts up ahead for the next game. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious what you guys thought. That overall, just stepping back and looking at this game as a neutral fan, you couldn't get much more entertaining football. Big plays. I mean, just going through the longs, like for rushes and catches. Uh, like Rutgers had 21-yard catch, 29-yard catch, 23-yard run. Obviously, we had the 78-yard run, 27-yard. 78-yard catch, 27-yard catch, 21-yard catch by Biber. So just a lot of good chunk plays back and forth, constant teeter-totter game. Yeah, special teams. Do we call it a bounce back? Probably. We'll give it to them. Let's see. What do we go kicking? We go 1 for 1 on field goals. We did miss a field goal. Yeah, at the end of the half, I already covered that. 1 for 2 on field goals. We did. Coy had a great return. He also dropped the one, I believe, to start the half. So yeah, we started inside our own 20 a lot, especially in the first half. They did block a field goal, so again, like all three phases, I feel like we're just kind of up and down. Yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Overall, pretty great game. You know what we would be talking about more if this didn't go our way is, let's see, the possession where we got stuffed in there, just on their side of the field. I think we were up at the time where they missed the face mask on Feme, Boy, and it was turned into like a 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 2 maybe. Stuffed, didn't get it. Came out again in the exact same formation, almost running the exact same play. Stuffed again, didn't get it. What are you going to do, I guess? And I think that was Cam Davis twice. I don't know why we didn't go back to Feme. I think Feme needs to be, especially with Darius out. I know he had the majority of the carries, but you gotta. I thought Feme should have had like 20 carries. Obviously, we abandoned the run game. No one got anywhere close to that. But Feme had 12 for 37. I mean, not great, but it was way better than anything else we had going. So I think he's somebody that you can feed, and I think he's a future running back one whenever Darius Taylor takes his shot at the NFL. But yeah, I mean, I think I've sang everyone's praises that I had a great game. Devin Williams of the team in tackles, I didn't bring him up, but he was solid. It's just an up and down, back and forth game, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that going forward. So, yeah, apologies for the late breakdown. Almost all of us were out of town this weekend, so I was up north helping out with some stuff, and but yeah, it was a great day of college football. Hope you all got to enjoy it. We are going to have a crossover episode with the Ohio podcast, so those guys are great. Watch for that. We're going to be releasing ours Tuesday, and we'll be going on their show too. But again, we're the Golden Gophers college football podcast. So check out thecollegehuddle.com if you haven't already. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate all of you tuning in. Again, our audio listens have been doing pretty well this year, so we appreciate you all. And yeah, Gophers get by with a big victory, and on to next week at Columbus for a night game. So we'll see what we can get done there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Go Gophers.